Hey everybody, Cameron here. Just wanted to pop on real quick and let you know about this announcement that was made late last night. And that is, excuse me, Imprint Films out of Australia will be releasing the next volume in their After Dark Neo Noir Cinema Collection. This will be volume 4. And in this collection, we have Harvey Keitel in City of Industry, uh, Reese Witherspoon in Freeway. There is a 4K of that already here in the States, but that film is included in the set. Mulholland Falls with Nick Nolte, not Mulholland Drive, but Mulholland Falls. We also have the Getaway remake with Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger. No word if that is the unrated cut or not. An unrated Blu-ray was released here in the States via Shout Factory, though. We have a 4K of Unlawful Entry with Kurt Russell, Madeline Stowe, and of course Ray Liotta. That's the first time that film has ever made it to 4K. And we have another Blu-ray release of Wild at Heart. Now, gotta say, while I do love Imprint Films, I was very disappointed because they hyped up Wild at Heart a couple days ago, and I thought, oh my goodness, we're finally going to get a 4K of that. Now, some people online have been saying, well, I'll just wait for the inevitable Criterion Wild at Heart release, and I understand that. That being said, Imprint is based out of Australia, so, excuse me, them releasing Wild at Heart on 4K would not affect Criterion here in the States. But Imprint went a different route, and they're just putting it out on Blu-ray yet again. So, but here's the good thing about it. There are some really cool new special features. So if this set is something you're interested in, definitely get it. I picked it up just because of the special features on this Wild at Heart Blu-ray. Also, I wanted a few of these other titles that I don't have. I already have Freeway and I already have The Getaway, but and of course I have Wild at Heart. But let's talk about the Wild at Heart release. So the special features on it, we get a new, and in fact, so far the only audio commentary for this film by Monty Montgomery, who was the producer of the film. Now, if you don't know, Monty Montgomery was the original director of Wild at Heart. And he asked David Lynch to read the book and tell him what he thought about making it. And David said, hey, before I read the book, I want to make this deal with you. What if I read the book and I love the material? And Monty Montgomery just said, well, if you love the material, then I'll let you direct the film. And of course, David Lynch read the book, loved it, and so he got to make the film. So Monty Montgomery went from being the original director of the movie to the producer. Now, a decade later, Monty Montgomery would work again with David Lynch, this time as an actor in Mulholland Drive as the cowboy. So that is Monty Montgomery playing the cowboy in Mulholland Drive. So to have an audio commentary by him on this release, the original director then stepped aside to be a producer, then later worked with David Lynch on Mulholland Drive. This is going to be a really interesting commentary. I actually got this release just because of this extra, to be honest. An isolated music and effects track. Now, off the top of my head, at 7 o'clock this morning, I can't remember if that has been released on a Wild at Heart release, for lack of a better word, before. But still, a music and effects track, that would be really, really cool to have. We get a new interview with Willem Dafoe. That will be interesting. I've seen him speak about the film before, but to have an isolated interview with him will be welcome. A new interview with editor Dwayne Dunham. Now, this is the other reason why I wanted to pick up this release. Dwayne Dunham edited, Blue Velvet, the Twin Peaks pilot, of course, Wild at Heart. He worked on Twin Peaks 2017. He's worked on the Star Wars movies. He is, excuse me, he is a master class world, just he's just an incredible editor and filmmaker. Excuse me. But he is infamous for being able to take David Lynch's 4-hour cut of Blue Velvet and turn it into the 2-hour just tight masterpiece that it is. And he wanted to direct the first episode of Twin Peaks. And David Lynch said, okay, I'll let you direct episode 1 if you edit Wild at Heart. And Dwayne Dunham says, oh yeah, of course, I'll totally do that. And it's a good thing he did, because, excuse me, from what I understand, and if you read the original Wild at Heart script, is completely different than the movie we got. Now, of course, David Lynch shoots things, more, he'll change things on the set. So that being said, it's just the structure of the film is completely different. And, the movie did not begin originally with Sailor Ripley killing Bob Ray Lemon. That was in the middle of the movie. So it was Dwayne's idea to move it to the top. And obviously when they got to Big Tuna, Texas, they were in Big Tuna, Texas. But that first hour was completely rearranged, with Lynch's blessing, by Dwayne Dunham to make it this rocket and rolling epic road movie, cutting out anything that would slow it down, because what Dwayne Dunham wanted was to have it super fast in that first hour and then come to a halt in Big Tuna, Texas when they ran out of money. And that's one of the reasons why I think Wild at Heart is a spectacular film editorially, is that the movie has just an energy to it at the top and then slows down at the in the back half. We also get an interview with casting director Joanna Ray, so that'll be really great. Real quick though, going back to the Dwayne Dunham, I'm sure it'll probably be like a 10-minute interview, but that in itself should be like it could warrant a 2-hour interview by itself. We get the extras we've gotten on the previous releases. And here it says uncensored Bobby Perusing, which kind of a bummer, because I've always wanted that shot to be, put back into the film, since that was the release that the Cannes Film Festival played and awarded the Palme d'Or to. Unfortunately, it's still just an extra. And we get an interview with Barry Gifford and trailers, TV spots, etc. So it's basically the previous release, but this time it has a few more interviews and audio commentary. You'll notice also that the deleted scenes that were on the Shout Factory release, as well as the Lime Green DVD box set many years ago, they are not here. So it's not like you could trade this up for, the previous release. You'd have to keep them both, unfortunately. But, I am disappointed that it's not a 4K, but I do think a 4K is coming. Maybe from Criterion. I've heard even rumors from Vinegar Syndrome, which would be insane. But I'm pretty sure it's Criterion, since they want to release all of his films. Anyway, I am still going to get this release because, again, I want to get a few of these other titles. And, of course, Wild at Heart has these cool extras. So, anyway, I will see you later. Take it easy. Have a wonderful day. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you soon. Take it easy. Have a wonderful day. Again, take care. Bye-bye.